Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin is currently trading at 33,722, up 2.88%. Ethereum, ETH, is trading at 2107, up 1.22%. We notice the stablecoins USDC, DAI, USDT, BUSD. They're currently red. That indicates money is flowing out of these stablecoins into the crypto market. If you're new to the channel, I'd just like to let you know that everything I do for you is free. My focus is on assisting you with my 20 plus years of experience to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. There's a really nice quote here from Pink. Pink said, "I've become more of a financial blessing to myself and those that I love, thanks to Ken." There are many people in this channel, in our community, who have really beautiful stories. If you would like to use the comments and share your story, that would be fantastic. I would love to tell other people about how we're spreading blessings and creating intergenerational wealth, and generally just making the world just a little bit better each day. I'd like to share with you Rule 419. Be pessimistically optimistic. Now you say, Ken, what's that mean? Optimism and pessimism is all about the future. Optimistic people think that the future will be the best. Pessimistic people look at the worst aspects and think the worst will happen. They expect the worst. You notice the green here. The green for optimists, I can do it. For pessimists, I can't do it. For optimists, possible. For pessimists, impossible. I know it's a rampant generalization, but it kind of helps to understand the basic philosophy. If you have a look at this rose, what do you notice there? Do you notice the thorns, the leaves, the flower? Whatever you see, there's no right or wrong answer. Abraham Lincoln was the 16th president of the United States. He abolished slavery. He had a beautiful quote, "We can complain that the rose bushes have thorns or rejoice because the thorn bushes have roses." He's really talking about optimism and pessimism. Quite a fascinating concept. Now it's time to have a little bit of fun. I don't know if you watch Star Wars, but C-3PO was always very, very negative. He'd say, "We are doomed, we are doomed." And there was a little character called Yoda, and Yoda was incredibly wise. And there was Han Solo, who was he would go for it. Now, imagine if Han Solo, C-3PO, and Yoda decide to go on YouTube today and start their own crypto channels. What kind of advice do you think C-3PO Crypto's YouTube channel would give? And what about Han Solo's crypto YouTube channel? And what about Yoda's crypto YouTube channel? And just assume that they all had 20 years of experience in trading and they were profitable traders. Which one do you think would be the best to follow? I'd really love to hear your concepts and ideas. Maybe just put a little note in the comment if you would like. Okay, time for some more fun. We use the KS method for timing. The timing means that we want to look at the overall market and figure if we should buy or sell or just do nothing. That's rule 1122. We always start with news sentiment analysis. Let's check it out. Let's have a look. Coin shares, what we do in this particular news analysis is we look as a novice investor would look. I know community members have a great deal of knowledge, but we just look as the normal starting investor and trader would look. Okay, investment chief, whoa, that's authoritative stuff. Lays out why Bitcoin's identity, bad headline. It's got an identity crisis. Well, that sounds pretty negative. Riot blockchain, we always analyze Riot in the previous session. So, jumps more than 400% year on year. That's pretty cool. What's Elon up to now? He's saying Bitcoin and Ethereum are bad. Okay. Thanks, Elon. What else are you saying? Okay. Warns against Bitcoin and Ethereum. Don't we know something perhaps Elon doesn't know about Bitcoin moves the crypto market? Oh, Elon, what are you doing? Okay. Square making real world wallet. That's fantastic. That's positive. Ethereum sleeping. Okay, well, they're sleeping, like Sleeping Beauty. Maybe they're going to come out. I don't know why a dragonfly is there, but you know. Okay, Bitcoin touched 34K. Ooh, that's pretty good. It's certainly not 10K, as a lot of people were saying. Jack Dorsey's digital payments, well, Square, getting into it. How to earn rates. Well, 7.5% interest. That's a little bit better than the banks. Well, pretty positive. Israel begins seizure of Bitcoin donations collected by some organization linked to Terra. Okay, it's really interesting to gain an overall sentiment analysis. Basically 4 are negative, 5 are positive, and sort of 1 sitting in the middle. If you're new to Rule 52, Bitcoin moves the crypto market, you might like to look back on previous episodes. You're going to see some incredible stuff that I only think about 1% of the crypto market actually knows. Bitcoin does move the crypto market even down to the 1 second level of an altcoin. Talking about Bitcoin, how is Bitcoin going? We notice this structural resistance overhead at the price of 33,847. What are we seeing here? We're seeing structural resistance above, structural resistance downplaying, another level of resistance above at around the 36,171 mark. We also see that we've been in a fairly reasonable up channel of support here, and we've got good structural support at 32,414. You know what's really funny? So many members of the community reach out and they say, Ken, I'm bored. Bitcoin is not going anywhere. You know what's happening? Something amazing. It's gaining momentum. Under all of this, it's getting ready for a big push. Let's have a look at the longs and the shorts. We can see the shorts in red are accumulating. This is what we need. The shorts fuel massive increases in price. That's what I call short fueling. And the longs, when the longs are liquidated, price goes down. But when the shorts are liquidated, price goes up. Let's check out Ethereum. It's so fascinating that when we look back a couple of days ago, there were so many incredibly positive stories about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin. All the time, shorts were accumulating. And the community said, what's going on here? This is pretty interesting. Notice how the longs have been taken out of the market relative to the shorts. Fascinating. And also the price is equalizing down here because the longs are coming back in. We're going to start tracking maxpain price in options. I think it's a really fascinating concept. In options, maxpain is the level where most options will expire worthless. I think something that you need to know, perhaps 2 things that are going to be helpful to you. 75% of options expire worthless. That's a very good first point. The second point, maxpain is not the magnet that most people think it is. Maxpain is where people think that a particular contract is going to expire at. It's not actually the case. It's just a point in place where most options expire worthless. What is really interesting to us is to understand what this graph means. I'll go through it a little bit with you. If I call you up or someone puts someone down, we know that a put down is not very nice, but it's always nice to get a call, to call someone up. That's pretty cool. Call up means going long. Put down means going down, going short. Going long, going short. I hope that helps to understand what puts and calls are. You notice this volume of calls up here, the green. This is pretty cool. Before we were hearing so much in the media, oh, Bitcoin's going to 20,000, etc., etc. It's not the case. We can see what's happening. Have a look at this. This is pretty cool. What do we see here? $40,000 contract, call contract, $45,000 call contract, $200,000 call contract. This is increasing. 30,000, it's decreasing. What does this mean? 25,000, 20,000, 120,000, they're decreasing, and it's flowing into these contracts. What do we assess by that? What do you reckon? Could it be the price is going up? I reckon so. Just a quick thing here. I'm focusing on the July 30th contract. There's all sorts of contracts that we can pick, but the end of month ones have the most liquidity. They're the most significant. Let's compare an apple to an apple. Have a look at Ethereum. Same one, July 30. Look at this call behavior. So many people are calling up other people to say, hey, get into Ethereum. It's really cool. We notice that the current price of Ethereum is around 2120. This is 2400. That's pretty cool. We notice there's a bit of a reduction here in the $3,000 price, in the $1,600 price. What do we see? A 16% and a 16%, 28, 18. It's kind of a bit of a mixed message, isn't it, at the moment? But every single day, we're going to keep our eye on how this graph changes. And over time, we're going to crack the secret code. Let's turn now to liquidation data. Over the past 24 hours, 183.21 million in liquidations occurred to 48,121 traders. If we look at the past hour, 50% of those were short. If we go 12 hours, we can see a majority of longs were liquidated. If we turn this to, say, the 15-minute mark, we can see these shorts pushing the price up here, these long red bars. And when the green, the longs, get liquidated, that actually causes the price to go down. It's really fascinating, isn't it? If we have a look at on-chain data, Bitcoin net realized profit and loss, a lot of people took pretty heavy losses recently. We always track Tether balances because it's a stable coin that allows people to buy other pairs. We saw a spike up in the Tether balance, and you know when we get to psychological safety, we've graphed this. You can see another spike up here. You can see a deployment of Tether into particular coins on exchanges. Let's have a look at the Bitcoin stablecoin supply ratio, SSR oscillator. We can see that stablecoins are being deployed into Bitcoin. This is a really healthy sign. It shows accumulation. Every day we track the fear and greed index. We want to see what level of fear and what level of greed is in the market. I call that psychological safety because I don't like to use the words greed and fear. When we see a lot of positive psychological safety in the market, there's a lot of FOMO, fear of missing out. It permeates all the news stories. That's why we know news stories just reflect current price action. A lot of people are attracted into the market when FOMO occurs. They end up buying at the top. This is why I always say, if you're an investor, it's a really good idea to know how to trade, or else you can get caught up here. Now, what happens when the fear enters the market because of sell downs like this? Generally, people, through fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that's what FUD is. They sell the bottom. Again, if you're an investor, but you're not sure how to trade, and it's really a mindset first, you could end up selling at the bottom. What we do in this particular community, we think like institutional investors. This is where we accumulate. And if we want to offload, we offload when the extreme greed is in the market. We're very, very different on this particular channel. As part of our process, we look at the top 7. Today, right now, it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, XRP, and DOGE. Not bad, healthy gains there. Let's have a look at the top 24-hour gainers. Axie Infinity rocketing up 52.57%. Well done. Flow, Stacks, Mana, Engine, EOS, Compound. Let's go the other way. Let's check out the greatest losses. ZRX, Tel, Cell, Shib, One, Leo, and Myota. Let's flip around the other way. Greatest 7-day percent gainers, Axie Infinity, Flow, KuCoin Token, Synthetic Stacks, Decentraland, and Terra. What's the greatest losses? Telcoin, Cello, Internet Computer, VET, Ethereum Classic, DOGE, and HBAR. As part of our community edge, we look into Binance derivatives. We're particularly interested in the change in price of the contract over the past 24 hours. This gives an idea of how people are interested in putting money in or taking money out. Over the past 24 hours, the trading volume was $45 billion. 24-hour open interest was about $6.3 billion. Let's have a look at the individuals. We can see low percentage gains. Oh my goodness, Axie Infinity has just gone bananas. EOS, 14.4%. We really love to look at double-digit gainers. And if you want to scale into a coin, you look at double-digit negative red. Fantastic. Chili's, 10%. EOS, perpetual contract. Alpha, not bad. Mana, they're all doing well. They've got interest in the market. CHR, Lena, all looking fairly healthy. OGN, Acro. Okay, and we can come down to some perpetual futures. Some futures here. Sorry, not perpetual, just futures. Okay, this gives us a really interesting look inside the engine of crypto. I'd like to chat with you about Rule 47, master your edge. Everybody is unique. Your edge could be Fibonacci. Your edge could be Bollinger Bands. Your edge could be support and resistance lines, moving averages, whatever you want. If it works for you, that's beautiful. That is what all of this really is about, mastering your edge. I just give you as much information as I can and guidance to develop your own personal artistic style. I just would like to call out to Edwin. Edwin is just a magnificent community member and very, very nice person. He said, "You gave us a fishing rod. Our individual edge will soon be our harpoon." Wow, Edwin, that is so cool. Thank you so much. This is really what we do as a community. We have a community channel. We ask questions. I answer the questions. I put them in the videos. I'm very, very open to anything that anyone wants to discuss. Well done, Edwin. That's just fantastic. Part of our edge is that we don't just jump in and start to trade alts or whatever we want to trade. It's really important to understand the overall context of the market. If you haven't managed to see episode 116, that could be a fantastic idea. We actually need to understand the real trend in the crypto market as well as the main market. Every day we jam-pack this episode full of so many goodies. My focus is to give you the absolute highest quality of information in the shortest amount of time. I've seen a lot of videos that can go for 2.5 hours that do about maybe 20 minutes of actual content. This 31 minutes in this particular episode, you'll find it's really, really jam-packed. After watching that episode, you'll understand how the stock markets are tracking any potential black swans, how the crypto market is tracking, how the crypto stocks such as Riot are tracking, how Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is tracking. Just basically everything. That's what it does. We do that once per day. We can see that the crypto total market cap is currently at $1.374 trillion, we note this overhead resistance. Now, why do we look at this thing? If you've been in the channel for a while in our community, you'll understand that this is the representation basically of every crypto in the market, including Bitcoin. This is really important to understand. When the whole market comes up to resistance, resistance tends to push it back. That means it needs time to accumulate power to get over that resistance. We said previously that Bitcoin moves the market. This is the price of Bitcoin right now. You can see it changing in real time as we're looking through. Bitcoin does tend to move the market in incredible ways. It can go out of sync from time to time, but it really doesn't that much. In fact, you can observe Bitcoin's fingerprint, which is what I call this thing, on ALTS down to the 1 second, 5 second mark. It's absolutely magical, but it's a little bit scary. But the good thing is, if you know what Bitcoin is doing, you know what your alt is doing. You're absolutely bulletproof. You could almost say that understanding Bitcoin's fingerprint is kind of your harpoon, but there are so many more things that we as a community can share. I've been in the markets for decades. I wish somebody had told me Peter Lynch's quote and drilled it into me every episode, because it can save you so much money. It's unbelievable. It can be the difference between being profitable and not being profitable, literally. Peter Lynch, who's a very experienced investor, amazing person. Far more money has been lost by investors preparing for corrections or trying to anticipate corrections, that means being pessimistic, than has been lost in the corrections themselves. This is so important to understand. We just follow the trend. That's why we spend so much time setting up the trend before we even get into things. Now, most new investors and new traders lose money. Why? Because they don't know the trend. They just hop in, want to pull the trigger, buy, sell, without context, and that blows their accounts up. Let's get into Ethereum. Ethereum, currently trading at 2107.91, is literally just at support. It's seeking to break past this resistance here to get to the 2178.80 mark and then up to 2253. It has support below at 2020, 1960, and a really good deal of structural support at 1909. Let's have a look at BNB, Binance Coin. Binance Coin, currently trading at 312.59, is literally above support at 309 and 302. It has good structural support at 291.52. It's also above structural resistance that has turned and been retested into structural support. This is very healthy for BNB. Next level of resistance is 318.46 and 327.48. Let's have a look at ADA, Cardano. ADA is currently trading at 132.90. It's literally just at support as well. It has support below at 128.48 and structural support at 124.11 and 121.27. It has overhead resistance at 140 and at 144.86. Overall, this looks really healthy. It's past structural resistance a long time ago. When ADA's going to party, it will party hard. A lot of community members ask me, Ken, how do I buy? Ken, where do I sell? I love Rule 94. Let price come to you. You say, price, come to me. But how do we do it? Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Doge is currently trading at 21,542. It has support below at 21,095 and support at 19,990. It has resistance above at 22,200 and 23,393. Now, how can you let price come to you? You buy at support, always knowing the price is negatively biased. It's very interesting. We see in the past, Elon had a lot of control, I guess, over prices. I'm not sure what the word is, like timing? I'm not sure. But it seems like this hasn't really done too much to Doge. Come on, Elon. We need this price to be elongated. It's not being elongated at the moment. Always remember, price moves in waves, sharp angles reflect. Price is always moving up and down. When it gets to structural resistance or any form of resistance, but especially structural, it tends to back off, try and get past it, takes a bit of a time, comes up and then retests or fails, comes back up. This kind of behavior is very, very typical. That's why I love showing you so many coins. You will be expert in so many things, which will make you an expert in the one that you really are focused on. You'll find that every single chart tells you a slightly different story. That's why I show you so many. XRP, very favorite of the community. You can see this structural resistance turn to structural support, tested. This is really interesting stuff. You notice how much structural support is below XRP's current price. XRP is currently trading at 62.22. It's got normal support at 59.99 and then structural support around the 58.53 mark and further down at 56.94. It has structural resistance above its immediate price of 63.17. That means it just needs momentum to get up over that. But what do you know? You know that Bitcoin's price moves the market. If Bitcoin is coming up, the whole market will follow. That's what we know as a community. There's also a secondary level of resistance at 65.60. Quite a few episodes ago, I picked the top 24-hour % gainers. I was really interested in sharing with the community what these gainers tend to do, because you can be attracted into higher prices. But what happens after that? Let's check it out. Harmony 1 was one of those top gainers, and you can see it here. It just bolted until, what's this blue line here? That's structural resistance. And it backed off until it found this up channel of support and then consolidated around that. And now it's seeking to take out this next level of structural resistance. See how cool these patterns are. It's just beautiful to see the action inside each coin. One is currently trading at 84.31 as has resistance above at 86.42 and 91.25. It has support at the psychological 80 cents mark and below at 70, not 80 cents, 8 cents, sorry about that. And it has support below at 73.55. Let's have a look at Mana, Decentraland. Mana is currently trading at 73.62. It's just seeking to take out the next level of resistance at 76.24. Above that, another level of resistance at 82.05. Notice this really big, powerful move. We know price moves in waves. They're always coming up and going down. We know the price is negatively biased, so we buy at support. We don't FOMO in. We let price come to us. That is a really cool thing to implant in your mind. You won't miss out. Mana has support below at 68.31 and 63.42. It's really interesting to note this up channel of support. See, it came down, tried to hold it, didn't do a good job, but now got above it. It's showing strength in there. You can see why it's so awesome to look across so many different coins. Have a look at Luna, Terra. Terra has been on a tear. It went up, and we know price moves in waves, and we let price come to us, didn't we, when we scaled into this trade, if you did so. It's really interesting. Buying at support or in between support is a fantastic, profitable thing to do. Most people buy at market. They get advertised in, they tend to buy up here, They see the price going down, they say, oh no, I'm wrong, and they sell down here. When we are professional traders, professional institutional grade investors, we look at this and we say, meh, means nothing to us. Price is always moving up and down, up and down. We know what's going on. We're not concerned. Look at this up channel of support here. Pretty cool. Look at that fresh air above support. That shows it's taking off. Look at this channel of support here. Price, fresh air above. It's pretty good to understand how these patterns work. We are focused not on moving averages or anything like that. We need, excuse the way of explaining this, naked price action. Why is it naked? Shouldn't it put some clothes on? Shouldn't we put some indicators on it and just clothe it up? Nah, let it be naked. It's a nudist. If you look at price from a nude perspective, you are going to be way ahead of anyone else. But of course, if you like other things, you like your Bollinger Bands and you like your pitchforks and all of that, go for it. Anything that you love to do, you should do it. Kusama was another one of those really high percentage gainers. Look what happened here. Whoa, Kusama got crushed. This is what sometimes happens. It's really important to understand where a particular price is in its cycle. You see this really down momentum here. Kusama's been suffering, but you know what? When it gets going, it's going to blitz. I absolutely understand how much power is in KSM. Currently, Kusama is trading at 209.37, support below at 163.19, resistance above at 260. I'm not at all surprised if we see within the coming week Kusama right up there on the 24-hour percent gainers. Why do I say that? You see this long basing pattern here. Bases build rallies. That's a really good thing for you to understand. A lot of communities members asked me if I could put Chainlink in. I said, of course, no problem, let's rock. Okay, Chainlink is currently trading at 18,114. It has structural support below at 17,209 and normal support at 16,698. It has resistance here that will be overcome at 18,960 and also resistance at 19,966. The community also asked me to look through Theta. You can see this really strong structural resistance coming in here at a confluence of around, sorry, that's on percent, at a confluence around $6.49. Just keep your eye on that if you're in Theta at the moment. Currently, Theta is trading at 5,958. It really needs to get above this first level of structural resistance at 622 or 622.27 and then get above this resistance around $6.50. After that, we will see that all acting as a support, and that will be really good for Theta. Theta's a little bit underwater at the moment. A lot of people really love VeChain. VET is currently trading at 76.52. It's just literally at support right now. You notice this upward level of support here? That's pretty cool. It's also been able to turn, VET has also been able to turn this structural resistance into support. And it's consolidating under this key technical level of 80.45, which is a structural resistance level. Support below is at 71.31, apart from the pretty much the current price, and resistance above is 87.80. Polygon MATIC is another community favorite. It's currently trading at 104.069. It has a lot of structural support underneath at 101.203 and 95,360. You notice this structural resistance coming into play. That's what's suppressing MATIC's price right now. When MATIC gets above this, it's party time. Resistance is at 1.12,672 and 1.18,745. Solana is another community favorite. Sol is currently trading at 33,089. It's above support at 32,464 and 31,604. The next resistance is at 33,916 and 35,274. You can notice the structure of Sol is quite good. It's quite healthy, healthier than some of the other coins. That's why you should always look at as many coins as you can to trade your one or invest in your one or your ones better. Let's have a look at Polkadot. DOT is currently trading at 15,352, support below at 14,748 and 14,023, resistance above at 16,441 and 17,297. What I see when I look at this chart is the accumulation of power. This basing range actually fuels a rally up. It needs to fuel up because of this structural resistance coming into play around the 2140 mark. This is not a bad chart at all. It's showing that it's consistently gaining. It's being accumulated. That's always a really, really good sign. This is another really interesting chart. Avalanche, AVAX. You can see this upward support here. You see how it's continuing to gain strength, even as it moves into structural resistance, both above at 13,476 and diagonally above at around, when it gets to that price, around 14,335. It's pretty good. I see, when I look at this chart, I see power, and you always want to invest in power, not in weakness. If you invest in weakness, it will become weaker and weaker and weaker over time. You want to invest in strength if you want a really good return on your money. AVAX is currently trading at 12,349, above support at 11,702 and psychological $11. There is also really double support, that upward sloping support line at the 11,702 mark. Resistance above at 12,908 and structural resistance at 13,476. Let's have a look at Uniswap. Uni is currently trading at 2467, above support at the psychological $20 mark and 19,587. Look at this really beautiful upward but fairly reasonable support here. I'm just going to make this a little bit darker because it's actually quite a nice support there. Just a little bit easier for you to see. That also acts as a secondary support around the 19,272 mark. It has resistance at 21,12,4 and the next real level of resistance is 23,158. Uni is looking quite nice. Okay, really serious question. Which crypto YouTuber would you think would be the best to listen to? I'd love to hear your comments. Is it Yoda Crypto, C3PO Crypto, or Han Solo Crypto? I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's have a look at Ethereum, see what is cooking in there. Please say hi and let me know where you're viewing from. And of course, if you have any questions, I'm really happy to answer any question you have. We're really a community-driven channel. If you would like twice daily updates, 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and follow me on Twitter. Always remember, crypto is volatile. Prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Stay safe out there, take care, and see you next time. Bye for now.